CFA and CPA. What are these two qualifications and which one is the right one for you? Well, first of all, if you find any value in this video, give us a thumbs up, and if you don't answer any of your questions, leave it in the comments below. So let's jump into it. I've already made a mega series video on both CFA and CPA. So if you want full details, check out both the videos. But in this one, I'm going to compare the two, figuring out which one is better for you. Both of them, CFA, Chartered Financial Analyst, CPA, Certified Public Accountant. Both are US based and of course both are globally recognized. CFA is a specialization in the field of finance and investment management, which means you want to understand anything to do with money, to do with the stock markets, capital markets, equity markets, all mean the same thing. But financial markets, it includes more. It includes debt, it includes commodity markets. You want to understand other aspects of money, foreign exchange. You want to understand portfolio management. You want to take money from people, put it in different assets and grow that pool and then give them a higher return. That's called portfolio management. All this, right, is possible via CFA. And one of the most popular programs in the world, investment banking. Yes, it is a stepping stone if you do CFA to get into that field. So now first of all, this is what CFA is all about. What is CPA? CPA is the CA, the way we have Chartered Accounting of India, it's the CA of the US. So if you want to get into the US and audit, you want to do accounting or advisory that requires this kind of knowledge of US tax, of US regulations, of US laws, how to audit US companies, all of that you learn in CPA. The point about doing CPA if you're in India is that this program, because it's based on the US, it has a lot of value. Not only if you want to actually move to US or Canada, but if you want to stay in India, there are lots of companies, US companies from Apple, Amazon, etc., who can actually hire you. Even the big four, KPMG, Deloitte, PwC, EY, all of these companies are actually hiring CPAs because they have international clients who all have to follow what we call the US GAAP. So if you want to work whether in India or globally, CPA is once again a great pathway. Now that you understood what these two are, this should be the first reason of you understanding which program you should choose. However, you might be extremely young or not in this field to not really know which one to take. So now let me tell you all about the more tactical aspects of both these programs that might help you make a decision. Let me complete CFA first. First of all, the eligibility. You can start CFA right from the time you are in college, from your second last year of graduation. So a BCom or a BBA student can start in the second year. And the CFA has 3 levels. On an average, each level you can assume will take 1 year to complete. So CFA total you can take as 3 years to complete. So by the time you graduate and spend 1 more year, maybe along with work experience, you can become a CFA level 3. Each of the 3 levels have their own difficulty. They have 10 subjects each. Level 1 is more about a little bit of basics. Level 2 is of course much more intense. And level 3 is going to test you how you would actually deal with real life scenarios where there is no such thing as a right answer. But there is a lot of other aspects on understanding ethics, on giving the best kind of answer of what the client wants, stuff like that. And when it comes to the scope of CFA, it's unlimited. Number one, I know people at level 1 who've gotten 6.5 to 7 lakh salaries. Level 2, they've crossed 10 lakhs, and level 3, it goes above 15. It all depends on you as a candidate and which companies. But yes, this is the potential which you can tap into. The fee structure for CFA is one thing which is important, right? It will cost around 3 to 4 lakhs total over 3 years, and you can pay as you go and you earn as you learn, because the idea is that you have to start working maximum after level 2 if you've not, but ideally after level 1. So when you think about it like this, the course seems very much in reach. You are always advancing, you're never stuck. You're opening more and more doors, whether it's for India, whether it's overseas, and whether it is in finance or not. But this is an amazing sort of opportunity to be ready for whatever life throws at you if you are not already sure of what your pathway should be. Let's come to CPA. So like I said, it's the US CPA. Like, first of all, the eligibility. You cannot give CPA unless you are not only a graduate but a postgraduate. Now, again, we made a video on eligibility for CPA. It's relatively complicated, but short answer is, as long as you're a graduate and you're ready to put in a little extra effort beyond CPA, which means, for example, you have to do something we call a bridge course, right? We offer this MBA plus CPA, where in the first year of that MBA, which is completely online, you not only earn the eligibility, but you also study for CPA. At the end of year 1, give the CPA exam. And then if you do complete year 2, in which there is AI as well inculcated, you not only complete your CPA in year 1, you also have an MBA by the end of this program. But any which ways, eligibility for a CPA is only going to be post-graduation. So if already you're in college and you are excited to start, then CFA is the only option. You can always stick CPA later. But if you're a chartered accountant or somebody who's maybe completed an MCom or an MBA, then you have both options open. Maybe you can decide the rest. It takes 1 year on average, maybe 1.5 years to complete CPA. So that already CFA was 3 years on average. This is 1 to 1.5 years. So if you are more in a hurry, you can complete CPA faster. CFA has 3 levels, each has 10 subjects, CPA has only 4 subjects in total. That's it. And lastly, what all you learn in CPA is exactly what an Indian chartered accountant learns for the US aspect. You will learn accounting, you will learn taxation, you will learn law, you will learn auditing, you will learn managing finances, you will learn aspects like costing. And now they've recently come up with slightly more in-depth variants. But basically, you are going to be prepared as a chartered accountant. And for that matter, if you go to the US, you can actually practice. Practicing it basically means that you can sign on companies' financial statements. Only a chartered accountant of that respective country has that right. And when it comes to the scope of CPA, once again, ideally, you're already supposed to be a graduate, maybe with a couple of years of work experience by the time you're eligible for CPA. So if you are already garnering work experience, right, your salary can go to 12 lakh, 15 lakh, depending on, again, you as well as the company. If you've only done CPA and no experience yet, and maybe it can start lower, maybe at 6 to 8 lakhs, depending once again on what kind of company you go to. However, we always recommend that ensure you try to take up as much work experience as you can, so that when you really go into the real world, right, with a good qualification. And for CPA, you need at least 1 year of experience under a CPA for the CPA body to give you what they call a license. If you don't have that work experience, you can be done with the exam, but then at some point work will have to catch up. You submit and then you become a CPA license holder. Lastly, the fees for CPA can range anywhere from 4 to 5 lakhs, little similar to CFA, but all of this will happen over 1.5 years. So it is a little higher of an outflow, but honestly guys, at the time of studying, I don't think you should care about the cost for either of these programs. Long story short, if you do not know the primary reason, since both have very high value both in India and globally, but one is about finance, one is about chartered accounting. Besides that, if you don't know, do choose a lot basis your current circumstance. If you're in college, take the CFA path. If you have some scope of getting into the world of US with US companies, or you have a dream to move to the US and you've obviously reached the eligibility, then CPA is an amazing option for you. So with those things in mind, guys, I would suggest you think about it. Last and not least, educating yourself, and you do not mind putting in more effort. You can go for both because they might not always give you immediate ROI, but I know that somewhere in life, right, having these two kind of different qualifications, both having a massive value, somewhere, somehow, there's a high chance it will pay off. So this is the way you guys should think. As always, if we've missed something, then do let us know and we'll get back to you in the next video.